In the heart of London, among the double-decker buses, black cabs, and the endless flow of footsteps, stands a small structure that has become one of the most recognizable symbols on Earth. Bright red, crowned with a domed roof and holding nearly a century of stories, the red telephone booth is both ordinary and extraordinary. This is the story of how a simple public phone kiosk became a timeless icon of Britain. It begins in the 1920s, when Britain was rapidly changing. Cities were growing, technology was advancing, and the post office needed a modern, standardized public telephone system. The earliest attempt, the K1 kiosk, was functional but uninspired, a plain concrete box that failed to capture the public's imagination. The country needed something more, something worthy of its streets, its culture, and its future. And so, in 1924, a competition was launched to find a new design for a national telephone booth. Among the submissions emerged the work of an architect who would shape not only buildings, but history itself. Sir Giles Gilbert Scott. Already known for his grand architectural achievements, Scott proposed a telephone kiosk unlike any seen before. Elegant, distinct, a structure rooted in classical design. The domed roof of his kiosk was inspired by the tomb of another great architect, Sir John Soane, an influence most people would never notice, yet one that gave the booth its unforgettable silhouette. The design, known as the K2, was officially approved, and soon a new symbol appeared on Britain's streets. But one choice would make it truly iconic: its color. The post office insisted on painting the kiosk a striking red color. The reason was simple: visibility. In a country of foggy mornings, gray architecture, and frequent rain, the booth needed to stand out. Red ensured that no matter the weather or the century, it would be impossible to miss. As the years passed, the red booth spread across the nation. By the 1930s and 1940s, it had become part of the rhythm of daily life. People stepped inside to call loved ones, report emergencies, deliver news, or find brief shelter from the cold. For travelers, the booth was a lifeline. For children, it was a mysterious little room filled with the magic of voices from far away. For soldiers returning home, seeing the red kiosk meant they had reached familiar ground. In 1936, the design evolved into what would become the most widespread version of all, the K6, celebrating the Silver Jubilee of King George V. Over 70,000 K6 booths were installed across Britain. By mid-century, the red telephone box was no longer just infrastructure. It had become part of the British identity. It appeared in films, on postcards, in paintings, and in the stories of millions of people. It was a national landmark, one phone call at a time. But time does not stand still. By the late 1990s and early 2000s, mobile phones began to reshape communication. The once essential telephone booth found fewer visitors. Usage dropped dramatically. Thousands of booths were removed, vandalized, or left unused. For the first time in decades, the future of the red kiosk seemed uncertain. What had once been a crucial part of the country's communication network now risked becoming a forgotten relic. And yet, the story did not end there. Britain refused to let its beloved symbol disappear. Communities organized, historians advocated, and everyday citizens began rescuing abandoned booths. People bought them from councils for just £1, determined to restore them and repurpose them. Soon, the red kiosk began a remarkable transformation. Across the country, telephone booths were reborn as miniature libraries, tiny art galleries, defibrillator stations, Wi-Fi hotspots, coffee kiosks, and even micro-museums. Instead of vanishing, the booth adapted, just as it had adapted from the K1 to the K2, and from the K2 to the K6. Its purpose changed, but its significance only grew. Today, the red telephone booth stands not only in Britain, but in cities across the world: New York, Tokyo, Toronto, Sydney, and beyond. It is no longer just a piece of public equipment. It is a cultural ambassador, instantly recognizable, endlessly photographed, and forever connected to the spirit of Britain. Nearly a century after its birth, the Red Booth continues to draw people in. Tourists step inside for pictures. Locals walk past with a quiet sense of nostalgia, and though many of its phones no longer ring, the booth still tells stories. Stories of connection, resilience, and the power of design. It has witnessed love, loss, emergencies, celebrations, reunions, secrets, and goodbyes. It has stood through war and peace, modernization and globalization, and it remains, against all odds, an enduring icon. In a world where technology changes faster than ever, the red telephone booth reminds us of something timeless, that even the smallest structures can leave the biggest mark on our culture. It may no longer be the centerpiece of communication, but it endures as a symbol of Britain, standing proudly at the corner of history. The world has changed, phones have changed, but the red telephone booth remains, a doorway into the past, a monument to connection, and an icon that will never fade. If you like this video, please give it like and share it with your friend. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more inspiring video like this one. Thank you for staying with us. See you in the next video with new thoughts.